Welcome to the channel, my dudes, and today is another how-to Crucible video. So let's get ready for some educational annihilation. Today, we are talking about another submachine gun called Out of Options. And it is another doozy, I'll tell you that much. This gun is an Omlon brand, what have you, and it's a secondary weapon, so it shoots lasers of the purple, orange, and blue kind, but this is a review video, so let's get into the gritty parts of this gun. And is it good or trash? Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is the range to damage classification. We're going to call it range for a simpler layout in the editing phase, so I don't have to try and make things smaller in certain areas. This gun has about half range in the perk screen. And I think this is a true marker for where the drop-off is. Other than that, there isn't really a whole lot to talk about range. It drops off at about 15 meters, like all subs should do, and it shoots beams farther than that. So, the rating shall be a 5, because it's super average. Now, let's move on to the most interesting part of this weapon, and that is the perks. I say this is the most interesting because you know how all subs have 900 rounds per minute and minuscule damage? Well, this gun gives you something I personally felt like was a blessing. One of the perks gives damage for a slight ammo loss and a fire rate loss to about 600 rounds per minute. So that's still a lot of rounds per minute, we're talking. I mean, that's still fast. This made the gun significantly better at short range because I was actually doing damage now. That being said, this gun fires marshmallows exactly like the first sub I reviewed if you don't have this perk active. For this, the rating shall be a 7. I rated this because this perk gives us a good damage boost, but it's still a sub and it still can't compete against the Mida. Like, seriously, if someone has a Mida, I'm absolutely toast. Gosh, our next test looks at Recoil, and to be totally honest, it was kind of bad. Without the damage perk active, so with Marshmallow Shooter enabled. I mean, it was normal. You were looking at a straightforward vertical and to the side a little bit recoil. It kind of just tapered off to the left or to the right every time. Or sometimes it went straight up, which was weird. But with the damage perk active, the recoil went from okay to what the actual it goes up, goes left, goes right whenever it wants. Jesus, this gun is trash with this recoil. I lost more gunfights because I couldn't get the bullets to go the right direction. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I was able to cope with this tragedy, so the rating shall be a 5. And that's that. Now on to the math part, which tends to make more sense than my experience, but I played 20 matches in a row with this garbage. I think I have the right to some sort of opinion. Enough about my problems, on to effectiveness. I talked about the math in the last video, but I will reiterate it for every video just to make sure you guys know what's going on. You know, equations are good to know exactly what's happening. So, first for this, I need to know how many gunfights I got into. Which, to get that, I need to know kills and assists and deaths. This kills and assists are given, so the kill section equaled 267 kills / assists. Then, I had to use the equation kills divided by the ratio equals deaths. So that was able to calculate my deaths. So that came up with 150. So I died 150 times, got 267 kills out of 20 matches. Now a few stats before we calculate this. My overall KD with this weapon was 1.75, which is actually pretty good, and my average damage that I dealt about every match was 80-ish%. So around 4 out of 5 not 4 out of 5, but 4/5 of the damage that I was dealing was going into kills. What I mean by this is I got 3,000 damage, and every Guardian has 200 hit points. 3,000 divided by 200 equals about 15 kills. In that match, I got 17 kills. So 15 divided by 17 is about 88%. But that's kind of on the high end. But you get the gist. About 80%. Now, for effectiveness, to find this, we need to add deaths and kills and assists. So the entire set of deaths and kills to get a total number of 412 engagements. So out of 20 matches, I saw someone and fought someone 412 times. It seems kind of low, and that is because you do a lot of hiding with the sub. But now we take our kills, 267, divided by 412 to get a decimal. We multiply that by 100 to get it to a percent form, and our percentage equals 63.59%. Now for the effectiveness, the rating shall be a 6.3 because the math said so. But that's still rough. My KD took a hit from using this gun, I will tell you that. Now we move to the final rating, the overall rating. This rating is calculated simply by adding the first ratings together, then dividing by 4 to get an average, and that average equals 6.075. That shall be the overall rating. Now we add all these up and get a number out of 50 points. That number is 30.375, excuse me, out of 50. Now to put this bad boy in the rankings in the SMG class, we are awarding it a number 1 spot for now because this is only the second gun. But it's obviously better than the Showrunner because of that one fundamental perk. It also is going to take the number 1 spot in all of Destiny because, again, it's the second weapon. But for now, Out of Options has taken the top spot in SMGs. Can another weapon kick it out of its throne? We will let time tell. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment sections if you don't understand something and I can maybe explain it, or you think that stuff that I'm doing is bogus and I should do this instead, which would be awesome because I'd test it out and make sure, you know, it's feasible, and then if it is, I'll slap it right in there and we can do a different classification than the one that you don't like. So 30.375 out of 50 is not bad. It is definitely better than the 25 whatever we got from the last gun. So it's a little bit over average. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.